Dear learners, welcome back to your last and final unit, Unit 10, Emerging Trends in Information and Technology. We see that how technology is ever evolving, and we have examples every now and then. Every day in news, we get to see that something new is coming up, right? So it is very much important to keep up with all of those things. Let's see what as per syllabus we have to cover here. So things that we shall be talking about is an overview of your mobile commerce or m-commerce as we say. We shall be talking about e-banking. We shall be talking about e-logistic. We shall be talking about e-learning. So let's quickly understand what mobile commerce is all about. So it's about the explosion of application and services that are becoming accessible from internet-enabled mobile devices. Typical type of m-commerce example are purchasing airline tickets. So we tend to do any kind of transactional activity. Now, buying a movie ticket or airline ticket is nothing but an example of m-commerce. Just as I have told you, buying movie ticket is one of it. Booking restaurants and reservations. Hotel booking and reservation. So these are nothing. These are all example of mobile commerce, right? So with the help of this small gadget that we use every now and then in order to interact, to look up for products, we also do certain kind of transactions and bookings. And whenever it is going to the transactional side, it is going to the commercial side, right? So here it is known as m-commerce or mobile commerce. Moving ahead, attributes of mobile commerce is mobility, broad reach. So when I am talking about specifically to this point, right, mobile commerce, obviously the term mobile itself, it is referred as mobile because we can use it, we can move it from one point to the another with an ease. It is mobile in nature, right? So mobility is there, right? Broad reach. And since now almost everyone has a mobile phone, everyone would be a wrong phrase. However, if I would say 8 out of 10 people have access to mobile phones, right? So if you want to reach to masses, you are able to reach those 8 people among the 10, right? So you have a very broad reach with the help of, mobile. Now let's understand drivers of m-commerce. Now having understood that, today that we are studying about m-commerce, what is so much of importance that, even colleges and universities are introducing this concept to their learners. What is so important that, you as a marketer or a businessman have to understand the concept of m-commerce, right? So it is because of the various things that has evolved over the time that m-commerce has gained so much of key importance. First would be the exponential growth of consumers' interest and adoption to internet and e-commerce, right? So our behavior, our lifestyle has changed over a period of time. Our way of consuming things online, our purchase behavior when we are buying certain things online has completely changed. In fact, post-pandemic, you would see people's way of buying, their purchase behavior has completely changed. People want to access things at a ease from their home itself, right? They do not want to go out and explore those avenues. However, they want everything at a ease of their click, right? So that's how, having understood that these are the changes and market is looking forward to have everything at their fingertip, the advent of m-commerce has grown more. Tremendous growth in mobile telephony, however, voice has become a commodity and will no longer fuel revenue growth for operator, right? So, you see, this particular industry is showing a tremendous growth, and it shall be for a couple of period of time, as I have mentioned right now. Development of real-time transfer of data over 2.5G, 3G networks, and now we have 5G on place. So we have like fastest internet available. Any information we want, anything we want to do, any kind of transaction we want to do, it is done at a lightning speed, right? So having so much of benefit, why would an individual keep himself or herself away from using it, right? Human beings want a easy life, and if with mobile commerce or m-commerce we are providing them that ease, do you think they will step back from it? No, right? So we always have to ensure that we are aligned with it, right? Next is evolution of handheld devices incorporating WAP and GPRS. Mobile m-commerce market is worth 3.5 billion in 2000, and now it has crossed 3x the amount that you get to see in the screen. So that's how big this entire market is, and it is ever growing, as you understand, right? No matter what technology comes in, if you know, mobile might not be called mobile at that point of time, however the name might differ, but you understand that you would be using something similar in order to access those things, right? So this market will evolve, and it in the past 10 years at least, it has a huge potential. And since our purchase behavior, the entire cycle of purchase, buying and looking for information has moved so much to the internet side of plate, you see, there is a need to ponder upon m-commerce a lot. Cost of entry into mobile e-commerce is low for most entrants. For example, back in implement a sophisticated mobile banking solution in under 6 months is around $1 million. So how things are happening again? As it is, you know that from the very beginning I've told you the cost of digital marketing is way less than that of the cost of your traditional marketing. So with m-commerce also it is the same thing, right? The cost involved in it is less, however the result that you receive is much higher, because you see most of the traffic is coming from those avenues where people are tapping to, right? Unique features of mobile devices such as its compactness and convenience and personalized functions. Subsequently, people have become quite attached to their devices, obviously, because if I have to look for an information, now I would not go from my bed and I'll open the laptop and put up the query. However, what I'll do is I have a phone instead. I will immediately take my mobile phone and I look for that thing, right? So it has become very easy. So for any kind of thing, I would prefer any other devices later, but my mobile phone first, right? So that is the second thing that comes into our mind when we are talking about creating a mobile friendly ecosystem for everything. Yes. Advantages of m-commerce: it creates new marketing channels, right? So with the help of m-commerce you are creating multiple avenues in which new marketing channels can come, integrate themselves and provide you a better visibility and help you to connect with your audience at just a click with the help of different mobile applications, and producing your visibility on those applications. It provides easy store access. Now, if you have a mobile commerce platform, right? If you have a store, if you have an application of your store available, and your target audience have the app, right? So for them to easily access your store and see what all commodities are available and select the product and make the purchase becomes very much convenient, rather than going to your shop, looking for that product and having seen that product is not available. That's a disappointment. However, the time in between that takes, that the pain that an individual takes in order to get dressed, take their vehicle out, go to that particular place, look for that particular product, is being completely evaded. The result in cost reduction and productivity. Again, mobile commerce, with the help of mobile commerce, it is cost effective. You can cut marketing campaign expenses such as and you can reach to your customer very easily with the help of that particular application. Also, it has reduced the staff work and has become more effective and productive than before. So now, if earlier you had 10 people working on stacking those products of your store, and always ensuring that someone is keeping an eye on whether that particular unit is moved from here or not, how much purchases is being done, how many units have been sold, and everything. So now, instead of having 10 people doing different kind of things, you can have one people who is what they are doing, continuously updating the product out there. The 10 units is there in the back end. So every time someone is making a purchase, immediately through the help of automation, you get to see that now only 9 units are left. So you need not invest more on people now as you were, rather you can use that particular expense somewhere else, right? It benefits from traditional retail sales. Obviously, the entire experience is digitized now. So you need not, as I've told you earlier also, the entire process of coming out of your bed, getting dressed, keeping the entire list, looking for products and then not finding it, with a broken heart and disheartened things, move out and go to other shop and buy it, and investing a lot of time. Without that, what you can do is you can look for products into the app. If it is there, well and good, or you can reschedule it. There are different kind of options available for you, right? Where this entire thing of consuming time and your energy goes out. It becomes very much easy for an user to associate himself or herself with that particular technology, and again get their products at their place, right? Now, with advantages, as I've said, every time disadvantages, pros and cons, goes hand in hand. So we have certain disadvantages of m-commerce as well. So let's quickly have a look at it. So absence of services in rural areas. Obviously, now when we are talking about technology, we are talking about m-commerce and such avenues, we are talking about having good internet connection, reach of data connectivity, good electricity for that matter. People have access to those devices, most importantly. In rural areas, already it is rural because it is not so developed. They do not have access to such technologies, devices, and in return, we cannot have that thing that we cannot expect that people are behaving the same way in rural areas just as how our urban target audience are behaving. So there your m-commerce module will fall or fail, rather I would say. Fraud risk and security concerns. With the advent of technology, with the advent of all the ease that we get at our sitting at our home with just a click, comes a risk of security as well. If enough security measures are not taken, if enough firewalls are not given, if enough security functions are not being installed in the app, and that app does transaction, there is a threat that your personal information can be trapped by some mediator. So this is something that remains a threat to us, provided the application or the individual or that particular organization who have that particular app in case is legit and using right amount of security for the concern of their users, right? Connectivity issue. So if you are in a low internet connect area, obviously you cannot have access to that application, no matter how wonderful that mobile application is and provides you the best service, but there is no internet. How do you get access to their services, right? So this is one another major concern, the connectivity issue. The habit of people. Now again, having said that, how we have adopted technology and how our lifestyle is continuously changing from what we used to do 5 years back and what we are doing right now. There are a set of peoples who do not want to change themselves, right? They are well good with their old habits. They still like to go out and make their purchases. They like to go see things, feel it, smell it, and probably they want to make the purchases. So if people are habituated to certain things, we cannot force them to change overnight. So habits of people also plays a very significant role when we talk about implementing a new technology or introducing a new technology to that particular segment, right? Here too, m-commerce fails if people are not ready to adopt that technology. Moving ahead, we have e-banking. So when we are talking about e-banking, we are talking about, virtual banking or online banking, right? The popular services covered under e-banking include automated teller machine, the ATM, where we go to take our money out and spend it across, right? So that is one thing. Credit card, we have it, right? So credit card is also one of the services that is given through e-banking. We have our debit card with which we go to our ATM machine to take out the money. We have EFT, electronic fund transfer. We have mobile banking. So through we have different bank have their own mobile application through which you can do fund transfer. You can avail different kind of other services like loans. You can give your EMIs, and you can check your transaction histories, for which earlier you had to go to the bank and get the receipts, right? So all of these facilities are available with the help of e-banking. Moving ahead, what are the advantages of e-banking? I think the example that I've given you already clarified what all ease it brings. Let's dig into it more. An online account is simple to open and easy to operate. There are not much technicalities involved since it is online. Basic information you have to put, and it is very much, the information that is being displayed for you to fill is something that anyone can understand and go ahead with, right? It's convenient because you can easily pay your bills and transfer your funds from one account to another without having any mediator in between and from any part of the globe. You do not have to stand in queue in order to pay your bill. As I've told you, you do not have to stand in queue in order to not only pay the bill or deposit a amount or to take the money. It becomes more convenient now, right? It is available all the time. You can perform all your tasks from anywhere at any point of time, provided your bank server is not down, right? It is fast and efficient. Of course, as I've told you, if you are residing in India and your friend is at New York and you need to transfer money, immediately you can do it. Earlier, it was not the case. You had to go through certain protocols of bank, right? Only then within 2-3 days it would take for them to receive the amount. But with the help of e-banking, things have become easier now. To keep an eye on your transactions and account balance all the time. So, now you do not have to go to bank, stand in a queue and give the bank account book to them to update it and say how much amount you have with you and what were the current transaction. What now you can do is with the mobile application of the bank in which you have your account, you can see what your available balance is, how much have you spent, all of these details, where you have spent, and if someone is, you see, we have our siblings, the notorious ones. If they are making use of it, you have an idea who is using your card as well, having understood that you have given it to someone, right? And you want to keep a track on it. So these things become so much easy with e-banking. You get to know about the fraudulent activity or threat to your account before it can pose any severe damage. So you see, with e-banking, every time you get a notification, even if you are making a transaction, you say that they send a message or notification stating that so much amount has been debited from your account. If you have not made the transaction, click here, right? Or similar kind of messages. Why? It is because your security is a prime concern. Here, money is involved, right? It's a great medium for the banks to endorse their product and service. Also, having said that, these many avenues this e-banking is providing, this is also a great platform for the bank itself to promote their product and services in their mobile application. Now, for example, they have now new schemes for credit cards. They'll immediately start advertising that in their app. Obviously the cost is nothing because it is their own phone, right, own application, so they can continuously push or promote their products and services aligned with what kind of customer you are and what kind of services you take, right. More online services includes loans, investment options. So as I've told you, these are the services that a bank provides, right? So you would see when you have access to their mobile application, they would be talking about personal loans, then educational loans, home loans, etc., which within 2-3 seconds may, because they have all your information, can be disbursed to you, right? Now again, let's look at the disadvantages of e-banking. Understanding the usage of internet banking might be difficult at first. So having said that, creating account is easy, but understanding what or how to use those mobile application at first becomes very difficult, because every mobile application or bank application that you use will be varying from the other, right, because of their own company policies. So the term that a particular bank uses for their product and service might not be the same with the other. So it becomes little confusing. However, it's just time consuming till the time you get equipped. Once we are equipped with the nomenclature, with their terminologies, and we understand the navigation pane, it again becomes a easy task, right. Cannot have access to online banking if you do not have internet connection. Having said all these beautiful features that a mobile application or e-banking provides you, again you are confined to certain things. That is, if you do not have internet, you cannot have access to all of those applications or services that your e-banking service provider has to provide you, right? Security transaction is a big issue. However, having said that, security transaction is a big issue. It is when you are doing any kind of transaction from your mobile application to a third party and that is not known, right? So try to avoid that thing. When any party is not known to you, do not share any of your banking details with them, right? Password security is must. So whenever you would see that you are doing any kind of net banking, or you have a bank application with you, they always ask you to create a strong password, and every monthly or quarterly they ask you to change it. Why? Because here money is involved, and if your password is readily available for someone or they can identify it, there is a threat they can do whatever with your account in your name, right? Your banking information may be spread out on several devices, making it more at risk. So, if you are not using e-banking wisely, and you are randomly, opening it from one account, you are not logging out of it timely, or the security measures, if you are not taking care of, that particular devices stores that information, and that can be used for malpractices if someone comes across or they get access to your banking information, right? If bank server is down, you cannot get access to your account. As I've told you, everything in e-banking happens at lightning speed, provided your bank server is high up and it is not down, right? If bank server is down due to loss of net connectivity or slow connection, there might be hard time and you would not know whether the transaction is gone right or not, right? So this is something that we often face, right? This is one issue that even probably e-banking service providers are trying to figure out a better option of. You might get overly marketed to and become annoyed by notifications. So as I've told you, it is their own mobile application. So time and again, if there is any kind of new services or products offering, they keep intimating, they keep notifying you about that. So you might get pissed off sometimes, or what you can do is simply turn off those notifications. You have the option to do so, right? So these are the disadvantages of e-banking. Moving ahead, as I've said, so your basic information like your DOB, your name, email ID, contact number is being received by your bank provider, bank service provider, and what they do is they time and again send you your promotional emails and updates which are directly connected with your mobile application. You have a section of notification. There you would see email notifications are also directly connected to it, right? Which again, as I've said, you might get annoyed, and you can always unsubscribe yourself from all of those things. So that is one key disturbance that a banking service provider does to us. Next, moving ahead, we talk about e-logistic. Now, what exactly e-logistic means? The management of all the physical flows of organization that sells goods on an online platform through website, marketplace, etc. Amazon, Flipkart are great example of these e-logistic that I'm talking about. Warehouse management comes into picture in e-logistic, wherein commercial building for storage are being used in order to store goods, right? Warehouse are used by manufacturer, importers, exporters, wholesales, transports, and businesses and customs, right, in order to store goods, right, and from there to deploy goods to different junction where the buyer or the parties are involved to send it off, right? Distribution management, it is a system of computer tools used by operators of electronic distribution networks of monitor, control, and optimize the performance of the distribution system, how well the material that is being kept in your warehouse is being distributed to the segments where you wish to, or the distribution channel you have across a particular nation, a particular country, and you have its warehouse. So from there, how things are being distributed. So with the help of distribution management, you can keep an eye on all of these, right? Web Service Distribution Management, or WSDMS, that we talk about, it is a web service standard for managing and monitoring the status of other services, right? The goal of web services distribution management is to allow well-defined network protocol for controlling any other services that is WSDM compliant, right? So for example, if a third-party digital dashboard or network management system could be used to monitor the status or performance of other services and potentially take corrective actions to restart services if failure occurs, some aspects of WSDM or display functionality or simple network management protocol can be taken care, right? So that's how this tool can help you out. Now moving ahead to our last portion, e-learning, which you and I are part of. So when we are talking about e-learning, we are talking about electronic learning, right? You are watching my video right now through your learning management portal, right? You are being part of e-learning process. So let's see by definition what it is all about. So it is a structured course of learning, experience delivered electronically, just as you and I in a mode in. It can include performance support content. Right, in your learning management system, you have different types of content. You have your PPTs, you have your video lectures, which you are viewing right now. Then you have your ebooks. So these are different forms of contents that is available in your e-learning platform. Features of e-learning advantages. So we have the adjunct model, we have mixed model, we have online model. So when we are talking about this different models in e-learning, in adjunct model, basically the content are directly given to you to have access to it. In mixed model, you have the content, you have the live session simultaneously. In online model, the entire classroom, you get the entire classroom setup, live classroom setup, where all the interaction is being done through online and you have continuous support, right? E-learning tools and technologies. So we have video conferencing. You would see that even webinar is what? It's a part of e-learning tools, right? So whenever we are hosting any kind of webinars, we seek your participation and there's a speaker who is talking and you all are interacting together. It is what? It is part of your e-learning. Virtual campus, again, as I've told you, the online mode of e-learning that we have spoken about, we are providing you a virtual classroom wherein all your colleagues, all your peers are coming together. You have a professor who is taking session. You are continuously putting your queries up, raising your question. Your professor is giving you an answer of. You are having a seamless experience of a traditional classroom otherwise, but now online, right? With this, I come to the end of this session, probably the last topic of your course, OMBE 307 Digital Marketing. I hope you have understood the importance of, emerging trends in technology and how does it impact our lives in many ways. We have seen how does it impact in our commerce side, how does it impact in our learning side, how does it impact in our banking side. And overall, you have understood the importance of digital marketing in today's era. With this, I hope you all the very best. Happy learning.